Well, let's see here. Hello, hello. Okay, let me fix my background here. There we go. Okay, so welcome, my friends. Let's see. People are joining us, and let's have a little wand action here. I always like to start my day with a little wand action. People are coming on. They'll probably be scraggling in. Let's see. How does this work? Because I will tell you. Oh, yay! Real people! Yay! All right. Unmute all is what I'm going to do right for a second. All right.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is actually the first time I've ever done a Zoom
Oh,
like this. So,
hi everyone.
hi. Somebody has a crying baby. Some people probably don't want to.
How are you? How are you?
Good. I'm sort of recovering from a cold. So, not just sort of. I was in bed all week. So, forgive me if I sound slightly stuffy. So, do I have to admit every single person, or does it automatically happen here? Well, it may ask me to admit people every time. Hopefully, I'll notice that and keep doing it. So,
I think it automatically happens.
What?
I think it automatically happens.
I thought it did too, but it keeps saying so and so is in the waiting room. Should you admit them? I don't know why it's asking me that, but
There's a setting in your Zoom when you set up the meeting where you enable the waiting room. So you
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I didn't know that. So hopefully I'll just it'll keep warning me, and then I'll just keep clicking yes, I guess. So here's what I'm gonna do. I will be. There's no way to turn off these things that are going to interrupt us. I am going to share some slides and get into it. So I just wanted to say hi to everyone. And then I'm going to share, and I think that pushes off to the side a little bit. But then after I'm going to give you some background, let's say, on this new approach to branding that I've invented here and why it's different from normal marketing. I'm going to go over a little bit about that, why traditional marketing doesn't work for people like us, and then I'm going to get into the actual nitty-gritty of how to create a message, and we can work together on a couple of your guys' messages. Okay? So I'm going to, let's see, how do I mute everyone? Well, gee. See?
We can mute ourselves.
All right. That'll be good. Maybe you can mute yourself. Sorry, I'm not an expert at Zoom yet. But I figured I had to start at some point, and I think it is better than just being a picture, don't you? You know, just like a... So, I'm going to share my screen. Let me get my slideshow happening from beginning. How do I do this? Okay, wait a second. All right, whenever I try to show my slides, it takes up the whole screen. So what I have to do is I have to share my screen first, then I'll share the slides, and then I'll just, hopefully this will all work. All right, let's see, share. I'll share this, and then we will view it from the beginning. All right, good. Okay, all my stuff is showing over here, so hopefully when new people come, admit, okay, yay. We're gonna be rolling now. Okay, so this is your authentic messaging Playshop that you won as part of the Heart of Coaching giveaway. And so I'm Julia Stege. I'm the magical marketer. And most of you, I don't think you know me, maybe. Maybe you're new to me, but I'm here to help you express your purpose through marketing and attract your soul tribe. That's what this is really all about. And I plan it to be fun. If you have not yet downloaded your book, it says, download me, baby. So make sure you do that. I know what it's like. I get into these giveaways quite frequently, and I get stuff that I don't even download or look at, but I'm going to suggest that this will change your life and that you're going to want this one. So the links in all the emails that I have sent you so far. So a little bit about me. I'm a website, branding and website person, really. I mean, that's most of my whole career. I've been creating brands and websites for entrepreneurs with a big mission. Here's one I did for Christine Grant. I'm going to admit these people. Hey, welcome. Why does that keep happening? There's something that won't go away on my screen. All right, so I've created hundreds of brands and websites for spiritual entrepreneurs and change makers of all kinds. I've attracted over 40,000 divinely aligned followers. I'm going to share a bit about how to do that online. I've made over 1.5 million in sales over my course of my career online. And I did this all by being me. I didn't try to be anyone else. And I want to help you do that too. I love helping my peeps to clarify and express their purpose for marketing that attracts your tribe. Now, I want to make sure that these people are being allowed in. All right. Sorry, folks. I didn't know I had a setting earlier that says I have to admit everyone instead of everyone getting to come automatically. So if you had to wait a second, I apologize. Did I miss something here? No. Okay. So back when I started, look how cute I used to be when I was in my 20s. I started my career on Madison Avenue, and I really was into it, okay? I thought, oh yeah, for sure, this is it. You know, if I can make it there, I can make it anywhere. I was really excited. What I found out, though, was that marketing is all about brainwashing, hyping, and lying to people, okay? Traditional marketing, you know, Madison Avenue style. Yeah, maybe we all knew this, but I was naive, maybe. And so I really had a hard time with this. I thought it started ruining my friends, actually, that were all into marketing. And it all was about money, you know, and whatever you could do to make money was okay. And it didn't matter if it was a true or a lie, or if they had to manipulate you for the sale. And I did a lot of stuff I did some stuff for Burger King that I'm not proud of, that would trick Burger King employees to make French fries faster or something by making it into a game. I tried to get out of that stuff and into entertainment and art, but I found that didn't make a difference. So I think you're going to have to mute. Oh, I can mute people. Okay, great. All right. All right, if you could mute yourself, so especially if you have noise. We'll be able to come in and, you know, talk to people later. So I left Manhattan when I was only 25 years old, and I just said, I'm out of here, and I want to maybe leave marketing forever. So maybe some of you feel like, ugh, marketing, bleh, you know, and maybe you can relate to me wanting to leave marketing forever. But I found out that if you have a skill, and we're going to be talking about this, you know, if you have a skill or if you have a talent that like nobody else really has, you're needed for that talent, and you're not going to be able to escape it if it's your purpose to deliver it. It is part of my purpose is to help people clarify and express themselves, what's most important to them. And so I can't not do that. So I found that though it's not really marketing itself per se that's necessarily bad, it's who we're marketing for and what we're doing when we're marketing. So I decided, oh, gee, you know, I can market people that I support and I believe in and not the others. And that the most important part of the marketing is, what is your world-changing message? What is it that you have to say that no one else is saying that's going to change lives? So marketing can actually be fun. It's fun, fulfilling, and sustainable
Margot,
when it reflects your purpose. So today we're going to cover why marketing the normal way is actually sabotaging your heart-based business. I'm going to show you how to consciously integrate the power of law of attraction into your brand and website to make them wildly attractive. I'm going to talk about how you can share your passion in a way that promotes all your offerings cohesively. That is, if you have a lot of things that you think don't relate and people have been telling you to niche it down and you don't really know how you're supposed to do that when you're wildly creative and you've uniquely combined all these weird things, I'm going to show you how you can create a unified brand. What actually does unify your brand? And then we're going to get into the first steps to creating an authentic brand message that attracts and engages your soul tribe, including how to make your message come from the heart and inspire your soul tribe to connect with you. The most important thing we want to do is to connect with our tribe. That is, like what we're doing today, we're connecting, also one-on-one connections, and I mean, you know, really authentic connection, meeting. And so once you get on that phone with them or, you know, on a Zoom thing with them, then you're able to really relate to people, right? I mean, that's what your people are going to want to do. They want to connect with you and know you're real and actually have an interaction with you. And that's the most important thing that your marketing can do. So we're going to have time to work on our messages together, and I'm going to be able to answer your questions. So the first thing I want you to do is to clarify your intention. And I always believe that your intention is gonna, you know, when you clarify your intention, it's way more likely to happen. Right? I mean, sometimes we're lucky if suddenly we attract what we wanted, but boy, we didn't even know we wanted it. Sorry, I'm trying to mute people because it doesn't automatically mute. I'm new at Zoom, so sorry if there's any kind of glitches in technology. So write down what you really want to get from being here today. Like, what's the best result you could expect? And I believe there's a chat field somewhere on here, isn't there? Where's the chat? Oh, yeah, there is a chat. Hi, Suzanne. All right, so I got to make sure that I also look at this chat from now and again. But you can put in in the chat, what's the results that you want to get from the Playshop today? I mean, obviously you want to create your message, but kind of like, what's really going on with you? Like, let's see, maybe your intention might be to finally clarify. I don't know. What is your intention? I don't want to put words into your mouth. So I'll check out those chats, and while you're thinking about it, while I'm going through the presentation, it would be great if you would put some of your intention, whatever your intention is, in that chat box.
Chat.
I'm keep trying to mute you, Moto, my dear. So if the marketing strategies you've been taught don't jive with your sensitivity, you're not alone, all right? Definitely not alone. In fact, I believe there are at least 3 reasons why traditional marketing is sabotaging your art-based business. And I'm going to share them with you. Okay, so the first reason is traditional marketing that begins with a strategic idea and a target audience, it won't ultimately satisfy your soul. So what does that mean? That means that if you're just thinking about, oh, I'm going to do a business that sells widgets because widgets are going to make me money, ultimately it won't satisfy your soul. Now, I've known people who did kind of cool things, but that didn't satisfy their soul. And those things, like for instance, I was approached at a high-end networking event by a woman who was really upset because her program that brings her $500,000 a year isn't satisfying her soul. And I found out, I was like, how did that happen? Well, you know, she feels herself to be a spiritual leader, and yet she was just promoting a program that was on how to write a book. And she really hadn't integrated I don't know what's going on, Moto. You keep unmuting yourself. Please stop doing that. I lost my train of thought. Ah, yes. You know, we come up with ideas that we think are going to make money, and then if we get too far into those, then we're kind of stuck. And if we don't really come from the soul to begin with in what we're saying we're doing, eventually it's not going to fly. Maybe at first we can do things that are kind of exciting and new, but my dogs are probably going to start barking because somebody just drove up. But if it doesn't come from way inside, like this is what I've always really desired to say, there they go, desired to say or desired to do, if it doesn't come from the heart, it's not going to satisfy your soul. Let's see if I can tell these guys to shut up. Hey, quiet. As if they'll listen to me. So here's reason number 2. And we kind of know this. If we're going to use traditional fear-based, hyped-up, brainwashy, or over-tactical marketing, it's not going to attract our cutting-edge soul tribe. So most traditional marketing is actually like overly tactical and geared towards attracting a mainstream audience. If you are not attracting a mainstream audience, and especially if you are attracting like psychics, people who are highly intuitive, creatives, they're going to see through all that stuff. That's something that we never hear people say, but yeah, it's true. They're gonna see right through it. Now, not that you want to try this stuff, but sometimes we pay people to help us with our marketing, and they tell us to do things, and we're just gonna follow them because we paid them. Even if it doesn't feel like us, don't do that, is my advice. It will sabotage your heart-based business. I have paid people a lot of money who gave me advice that I did not take because it was not in alignment. And was I happy with that? No, but gee, you know, I try to get help now and again from people in my industry. I take what is in alignment with me. I leave what's not. And I have a very a consciousness that my people appreciate that I'm not going to do anything smarmy with them. Okay, so realize your cutting edge soul tribe, isn't going to go for any of that stuff. All right. And I feel like going back to that because I don't know how many programs I have paid for where they're advising me to actually lie. Well, just tell them, you know, that your team is sitting there not doing anything because a project ended early and that you can give a discount base or some kind of lie. I find it shocking, but it happens a lot. It's no longer shocking to me. So here's the third reason. Marketing that hides your essence or not marketing at all is going to make you invisible. So but most of the time, this is what the problem with most of us, right? So we go, that terrible traditional marketing, I hate it. It's like so smarmy. I hate marketing. You know, it's so pushy and fakey or whatever we say about it. And then people have told us, oh, you know, you shouldn't really share that in your marketing, whatever that is, you know, that you said, oh, I'm really excited to share this, you know, that I'm a psychic brand channeler, you know. Well, no, you shouldn't share that. That's going to, you know, that's too weird. Well, if you're not attracting a mainstream audience, it's not too weird. So you want to share your essence. You don't want to not market. You want to definitely market and definitely share your essence, okay? If you don't, they're never going to recognize you. Here's something that we also don't hear a lot about. How are your people going to recognize you? Often we think, oh, how are we going to get our clients? How are we going to get them? We just want to get as many as possible or something. We want to attract as many people, let's say, to our website. We want 1,000 people to come to our website. But if our website doesn't reflect who we are, how are they going to recognize us as the solution for what they want? Right? If we're faking it, if we're hiding out, they're just not going to recognize us. And maybe they're going to pass us by. We've got to really be ourselves out loud for them to notice us and recognize that we're the ones they're looking for. So no hiding out allowed. The solution is your marketing must begin from the heart and reflect your true purpose and your essence for it to be fun, fulfilling, and sustainable. We're going to get into how to do that a little bit. First thing we want to do is create our attraction plan, which here's me with my attraction plan community that I learned how to do the attraction plan that's in this book, created by Jan Stringer. And you want to, what this plan helps you do is to identify what's most important to you. What is most important to you? That is the most important question. That's what you really want to share, okay? So we'll get into how you do that. So before we start creating our message, we need to know why so many of your prospects and potential partners are just confused about what you do. And when you try to explain what you do in detail, your people will fall asleep from boredom, all right? They're like this. What is she saying? I'm going to give you an example of this. I had a client, Murtis, and Murtis is, I mean, incredibly beautiful. You can see she had about maybe 7 modalities that she was combining, things that she did. She was kind of all over the place. Her only website was her dog walking business, which she still does. It's sort of on the side. I wish she were local. I'd love to have her walk my dogs right now. So shut up. But when I asked her what she did, it took her 20 minutes to explain. And it was sort of like, well, first I combine, I do numerology, and she went into how she had gotten certified in a particular kind of numerology and the kinds of things it does. And then she talked more about law of attraction and the certification she had there. And then she had another coaching certification. It took her 20 minutes to describe all of these modalities and try to explain how she combined them in this unique way, which she had done But she said, Julia, I tried to do this. She went to an agape luncheon, and she was like, oh, somebody asked me what I did, and I started explaining, and her eyes literally glazed over. What am I going to do? And this is what we did. So I asked her, first of all, we're going to talk about tick words, and I asked her what her tick words were. And I also asked her what her offerings were. We're going to go over this. And I also asked her what's most important to her. And when we spoke about what's most important to her, she kept saying that answering her spiritual calling was the most important thing. Answering her spiritual calling and helping others to answer their spiritual calling. But this was a phrase that she kept saying over and over that I realized answering her spiritual calling is what it's all about for Murtis. And that she sees a lot of people are dissatisfied in their lives because they're really not following their calling, and she wants to help them. We clarified who her tribe is. And really, she decided she wants to help women. She wants to help career women. So though she helps all sorts of people with their relationships, who's really important to her are career women. Women that are, really going for it in their career. But there are going to be women who are going for it in their career who are attracted to Murtis's tick words. So here's a message that we came up with a title. And I'm going to go over how you can create titles with your eyes closed today. Believe it or not, you can just close your eyes and go like this and create a title. We'll show you how. But that's not how we did this. I actually helped her with this, with her eyes open, and we came up with the career mystic. Mystic was one of her most favorite, in fact, probably her most favorite tick word. And career is really what she helps people with, their careers. So we came up with Murtis Wells, the career mystic. And this is what we took her 20-minute speech down to. I use metaphysical tools to empower career women to answer their spiritual calling at work, at home, and in the world. So where is that 20 minutes? Well, it's metaphysical tools. So that's what took her so long to explain. And explaining it didn't help. But calling them metaphysical tools is actually quite accurate and feels good to her. And then the at work, at home, and in the world covers that she deals with career, also relationship, and also how you can change the world. And then it's the career women, that's her tribe, and to answer their spiritual calling is what's most important to her. So I'm Murtis Wells, the career mystic. I use metaphysical tools to empower career women to answer their spiritual calling at work, at home, and in the world. She went to get her makeup done for this photo shoot, and the makeup lady at behind the counter said, oh, what do you do? And this is what she said. And instead of eyes glazing over, somebody that was like 10 feet away turned around and said, what did you say you do? Do you have a card? That's the difference. That's the difference in the results that you can get. So devil's in the details. Don't share them. I mean, if you want to share a little bit about that in your services page or your about page on your website or something like that, it's okay. I just am working on a website now where really it's important. She has all these different like kind of technical things that she offers, or like it's important to kind of talk about the results that you can get with them, especially if people aren't familiar with them. What is polychromatic light therapy and how does that work with biofeedback, right? I mean, it's kind of what? It's definitely not what you want to lead with. But if people need to know the details, you can share them, but kind of in the back, okay? After you've already what? After you've what? Shared from the heart what's most important to you and how you help people. Okay? People want to know what you're really all about. They don't want to know like how smart you are, really. They want to know how you want to help them. Okay? Here are the most important elements of an authentic brand. First is clear identification of who your tribe is. So if you don't know who you're talking to, or if you're not identifying who they are, they can't identify that you're talking to them. So you need to know, you need to be able to express who you're talking to so that they know, oh, I'm supposed to be listening to this. This is actually a message for me. For instance, when Murtis is saying career women, if there are stay-at-home moms that like her, sure, she'll work with them, but that's not who she's really talking to. All right? And I'm not talking to normal people, you know? I totally am not. So I need to be able to address my, you know, tribe of weirdos in order for them to know that I'm talking to them. So the next thing is to create an engaging expression of your unique gifts and how you help your tribe. So you really want to know what makes you unique. We're going to get into some more explanation of this, okay? An original visual aesthetic that sets you apart. This is an important part of your brand, in my view. I'll tell you why in a little bit. And delivery of your offerings in alignment with the above. If you are saying one thing in your marketing and you're doing a totally different thing in the delivery, like if you're like, oh, I'm not going to share that I'm a psychic channeler in my marketing, but suddenly I'm psychic channeling during the delivery, there's a disconnect, right? It will throw your people off. It throws off your brand. All right? So, who is your soul tribe? Your soul tribe, now, we could get kind of philosophical about this. But essentially, your soul tribe are people who are aligned with you on the soul level. So of course, you have to share what you're about on the soul level for them to know they're in alignment with you. But these folks are aligned with you on a soul level, actually believe we're part of the same soul stuff. Now, of course, we're all one as human beings, but there seems to be a flavor, and I can detect it in people when I'm talking to them once I ask them what's important to them. So I can tell if I'm aligned with people pretty quickly. I'm sure you can too, actually. You know, we kind of go through our lives feeling into like, well, I feel that person or I don't. I like their vibe. I don't like their vibe. These are people that you like connecting with no matter whether they buy from you or not. All right? So you're happy to, you know, do webinars like this or do one-on-one meetings with people and they never buy from you and you still had a great time and you loved it. Because I'll tell you, the vast majority of the people you speak with will not buy from you. The huge vast majority of the people that see your message will never even, you know, opt in, much less buy from you, okay? Most of the time, you're talking with people who aren't going to buy from you, so make it fun. You know, make it people that you love to serve. This is about you serving the world, your purpose. These people get you. They pretty much get everything you do. Right now, just 2 years ago, I started coming out with paintings. And the people that are following me on Facebook who get to see my paintings, they're like so supportive. So even though I didn't really share this aspect of myself, they love it. You know, they love everything that I'm up to because we're aligned. So you could change your offering once you attract these people, by the way. You're not attracting them based on the offering. You're attracting them based on your alignment with them. So these are your loyal followers. And this kind of, you know, gets into, later we'll get into it, but this gets into how you create your umbrella brand. All right. Let me make sure nobody's trying to chat me. Ah, yes. Okay. So people are chatting. Love the pics. Okay. Thanks, Suzanne. A better way to brand my message that is not. Oh, good. Everyone putting their intentions in. Great. Yay. You guys are great. More clarity about my target market. Okay, good. Greater levels of clarity and inspiration. Great. Clarity about communicating desired results. Okay. Better way to brand my message that's not so salesy. And how I really want people to succeed. Yes. Learn how not to let my integrity get in the way of attracting clients. Now, I want to hear how that works. It's your integrity that's not going to get in the way, my dear, but we'll clarify that when we work together, okay, on this. Suzanne's at the very start. Accepting all advice, especially when divinely guided. Oh, good. Okay, thanks. Okay, great. Thanks. And those that came in after I asked what that was all about, putting your intention in the chat field will really help you realize your intention for today's play shop. So here's what's the essential truth about your soul tribe is that you're on the same path in life. All right? Oops, I kind of skipped over that. What does that mean? Really, you have the same goals. You know, you have some of the same morals or beliefs as they do. You're like, for instance, we want a world that's peaceful, that people are united, that we get to be self-expressed in, where everyone is free, where no one's starving to death, where we're not destroying the planet, you know, that kind of stuff. We're in alignment with that kind of stuff. Okay. Part 3, I think I said, of, let's see, where am I back here? Oh, engaging of expression of your unique gifts. So you kind of got to know, like, what's your unique ability? Like, what makes you different from everyone else? It's contradictory because most advisors will tell us not to be so different. Okay, here comes my cough. Hold on a second, I need to get a Kleenex. I haven't been talking all week because I had a cold. Talking a lot right now. So, excuse me. So what's your unique ability? There's actually a process you can do to send this out to your clients. Like, what's my unique ability? Ask them. Ask your friends. Ask your family. Ask somebody that's known you for a long time. What is my unique ability? You will get some amazing answers. Maybe you can use those in your marketing. Sometimes it's something that we've kept to ourselves or something that we're just not sharing in our marketing. As I said before, you know, I'd say like 90% of my clients are some kind of psychic, whether they admit it or not. And often they're just like not happy about sharing that for some reason, or they've been maybe shunned somehow, or I don't know, you know, maybe something bad happened to them, or in a past life we were all burned at the stake or something. You know, a lot of my clients have like past lives burned at stake or something, you know, and I totally relate to that. It's one of the first earliest stories I related to as a young child, is these witches that were just, they weren't even witches, they were just herbalists, you know, and I was like, oh, I read a whole book series when I was 9 on an herbalist that was accused of being a witch. So what makes you different? You know, how do you help people that others just don't do it that way? That's what you want to share. You really want to share your weirdness, okay? Like, what makes you weird? Forget about all those people in high school that told you were too weird. I know, sometimes we're reacting against that stuff still, no matter how old we are. Let's be weird. That's what's going to attract your right people. Okay, I should keep checking the chat just in case. Aha! Jackie says, business coach told me not to talk about woo-woo. Ah! Moto G is the weirdest person that she knows. All right. Yeah. You know, here's the thing. You're weirdo people. They need weird. They can't deal with normal. Sorry. I don't want normal people in my anywhere. I'm just bored with them. I'm done with normal now. I don't believe anyone is normal. I just think they're hiding their weird self. So I'm done with that. All right. And then here's a part of our brand messaging that like no one seems to talk about. It's, oh, there's our witch. Our secret ingredient for attracting divinely aligned clients online. What is it? I love her, by the way. I want this outfit. Look at the necklace. I never noticed that before. It's like, ugh, it's got herbs on it, you see? So, it's your imagery, the visual aesthetic. What does your imagery that you use say about you? There's a message in your, you know, in the visuals that you use. Often, and this is so often, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been to events where I wanted to like run up on the stage and grab the microphone and say, no, it is important to have good design. Don't tell us that it's not. Oh, just because you succeeded without any good design doesn't mean that's a good idea, you know? Why would we not want to be artistic and have a flair to what we're doing, especially online? Sure, when you're in person, you know how to come across, right? You learn how to get dressed, put on some makeup, smile. You go out and people can look you in the eye and see that you're authentic. We've learned how to do that, but when you're online, you know, this helps a lot, okay? I'm going to give you some examples. But you can, I mean, right away you can tell the difference between these three women. Right? It's a secret way to intuitively attract the right people. Here's some before and after, like, examples, okay? Michelle, before, now this is a reasonably interesting, artistic-looking website. Secrets of Life and Death, though she's not anywhere in it. So it's not authentic. A lot of artist types, and I attract artist types, you're probably artistic. Whether you're an artist, you're highly creative, very likely. There's about an 85% chance that you have some kind of wildly creative approach. And so, yeah, we would struggle a little bit to get her to come out, but look, she's a trance dancer. And she's stirring up the universe, embracing the soul's dance between worlds. She was worried that her university, you know, school-type clients that were buying her trainings weren't going to like this aspect of her, but guess what? 600% increase in sales. Hello. Yep. doubled her practice. Doubled. This is Carrie Denow. She's a marriage family therapist. Created a new aesthetic that revealed her spiritual essence. Doubled her practice. In fact, she wanted marketing help at first, but then once we did this, she was like, you know what? I don't need marketing help. My practice is full. I'm not marketing anymore. Okay. This is Rich Gurman. He was like the coach's coach. He was becoming internationally known as a ocean guy, ocean protector. And he was really embarrassed with his old website. So we started using his artwork and created a very unique website that just expresses who he is aesthetically. You can know who he is by just looking at this. This is Barbara. 10 years later, still using the same brand. Still getting comments on a daily basis about how beautiful her brand is. Before, it wasn't terrible. She's reasonable. She knew how to design. But this reflects her at a much higher level. This one is a great example because look at this. This guy he's figured it out, right? But he's trying to explain it. He's got all these words up here. And then he's got these words and then more words. Then like 5 paragraphs. Are we supposed to read this? Another thing over here that's in red. More paragraphs, more paragraphs. Like, imagine you are in trauma and you go to this website. Are you going to read all this? You're in trauma. That's who his clients are. People in trauma. They're freaked out. No, they're not going to read all this stuff. So luckily, we took all this stuff and put it into 3 words. I'm going to show you how to do that today. Trauma to tranquility. Clear, isn't it? Do we need 50 paragraphs? No, we just need clarity about what's most important. And here's the visual aesthetic. Now we know there's science involved. There's like a kind of science-y look, but we know it comes from the heart. Do we know he comes from the heart with this? No. Do we know it from here? Yes. Sacred geometry, there's a spiritual aspect. Kind of meditation, kind of maybe a sense of balance? Yes. All of that gets communicated like this. You know whether or not this is for you instantly. You don't have to hardly read. So the 4th part is how you deliver your stuff. And as I said, if you're, a fairy princess in your real offerings and your marketing is all straight, it's not going to fly. If there's some major thing that you're holding back on in your marketing, don't do that anymore. I'm going to help you. But here's the thing. I used to not even tell people I did law of attraction. I was afraid that people were going to say I was crazy, ungrounded, and that I didn't know what I was talking about. And I was especially worried about lawyers, lawyer types, doctors and lawyers. I don't know, whatever. They tend to kind of act like they know things, and they can be very critical. And that was always in my mind, like, ugh, what if I have a lawyer client and they don't want to do the attraction plan? Well, so it's totally off. If I'm trying to on the one hand not say I'm into law of attraction in my marketing, and then I attract people that aren't into law of attraction, and then suddenly I'm making them do an attraction plan, it's off. So, about 13 years ago, I came out with magical marketing, And I called myself the magical marketer. And I was nervous about it. I was really nervous. I mean, even though it's totally me, it's authentic, I was really nervous people were going to tell me I was nuts. But you know what? Nobody really did. And maybe there was people that thought I was nuts. They didn't ever talk to me, though. I only attract people who I'm aligned with. I don't ever talk to people that are telling me I'm crazy. So that's going to happen with you, too. Okay, you want to play? Ready to play? Let me look and make sure we've got our chat. Ah, yes. Free to be you. Yes. Ready. Okay. So I'm going to get out a piece of paper. Feels so quiet in here. I'm getting out a piece of paper too. Why not, right? So here's a piece of paper. It's as easy as this. We're going to take our piece of paper and we're going to write on one side, we're going to write tick words, and the other side we're going to write offering. Kind of like this. Now, oops, people are waiting. Hi, new people. So we're about to get started. So get your piece of paper out. Now, you don't have any background, but maybe if you've been reading my book, you know what I've been talking about up to now. So, how many people here, or maybe, let's see. For a second, I just want to stop sharing. And I think here's what I want to find out, and maybe you can unmute yourself or raise your hand if you want to talk to me. But I want to find out, like, how many people have had a chance to start working in the book. Jackie has. Some of you guys aren't on video, so I can't see you. Maybe you can write it in the chat field. I don't want to force you to, I don't want to force you to be on video if you don't like it. Anyone else been working in the book? Not yet. Seems juicy. Yep. Anyone else? Yes? I guess not yet, huh? Busy week. So, all right. I'm going to go back to our share. Ah. Okay. Yikes. Okay, here we go. So, in chapter 3 and 9, I kind of go into this. So that's why I was asking, like, how much do you guys know? But let's assume you don't know much about this. When I was back in my groovy attraction community here at this event, Jan was coaching us on what makes you tick. The question in the attraction plan is, what makes you and your perfect customers tick? And so while we were there, she was coaching a few of us, and we actually canceled our party that we were going to have one night so that she could keep doing this with every single one of us. Of course, it was tiring for her, but man, it was amazing. I don't think there was a dry eye in the house. When people would get down to what really was most important to them, it was palatable. And I realized this is the most attractive thing you could ever say. is, what's your purpose? What's most important to you? Or what really makes you tick? What does that mean, what makes you tick? It means what is at the heart of what drives you as a person in this world. These words that you come up with that reflect your purpose or what's most important to you, they're like little magnets that attract your tribe to you. They're like magical magnets, okay? In fact, this is how I attracted Iyanla Vanzant. Iyanla Vanzant, who now has her own show. Before she had her own show, she was, whatever happened to Iyanla Vanzant? That's what I was wondering. She had been in the late 90s called The Guru from the Hood. And she was on Oprah with Susie Orman and Phil, Dr. Phil, and Iyanla. Those were Oprah's 3 people she'd give her stage to on a regular basis to help, the audience with various problems. This and that happened to Iyanla. She wrote about it all in her book, Peace from Broken Pieces. But at one point, I was like, hey, whatever happened to Iyanla Vanzant? I want to interview her for a project I would do. I wrote it down. I asked a couple of people, do you know where Iyanla Vanzant is? Whatever happened to her? Nobody did. And then 2 weeks later, I get a call. Hi, it's Iyanla. I got my magical marketing toolkit. I got my attraction plan. I want my 15 minutes. It's like, what? And so then she had used a different name. So I thought, it's a different Iyanla. But that's kind of what we call a sign of land in the book. Something that seems like what we're asking for is coming true, right? Actually, it was way more than a sign of land. It was like land ho. And we were talking for like 90 minutes before I really occurred to me that she was Iyanla Vanzant on the phone. And I said, Iyanla, is that you? Like, I had said something like, oh, you're selling Iyanla Vanzant books on your website. She said, yes. I said, well, gee, I think In the Meantime is the best book ever written on relationships. And she said, thank you. I said, oh, is that you? And she said, yes. I said, well, if I'd known it was you, I would have been a lot less informal. And she said, I've learned not to walk on water. It's bad for my Jimmy Choos. I said, I don't even know what a Jimmy Choo is. I wear Birkenstocks. But in any case, I asked her, how did you find me? I mean, this is just ridiculous. I just wrote your name down 2 weeks ago. And she said this, and I quote, I saw that word magical next to that word marketing, and I had to click it. Now, imagine my delight that she, of all people in the world, was totally confirming my entire branding from the heart methodology right there. I saw that word magical next to that word marketing, and I had to click it. That's what we're going to try to do today. We're going to take your word, that's your tick word, and put it next to your offering word, and it's going to become irresistible to your people. Okay? Now, she got her show on Oprah and doesn't have time for phone calls with me anymore, but I am so happy for her success. All right, somebody got unmuted and is making paper noises. Oh, I found it. Hi, Errol. I'm muting you. I'm trying to mute you, and it won't work. Oh, there we go. Okay. I love Errol's name because Errol Flynn is one of my favorite actors ever. All right. So what are your tick words? And we're going to get into this, and, I can get into this with individuals and do some coaching. I think that when we do the stuff together, like if I'm working with one person today, I'm going to try to work with more than one person, of course. I want to work with everyone, but we might, if it gets too much, we'll have to go into a more private, setting. But when you are thinking about this, you really want to get into what is the quality of life that is most important to you? Okay, so what makes you tick? And I would love it if you could share some of these words in the chat field. And my words, so some of my words might be some of your words too. Attractive, authentic, beauty, creative. I put these in alphabetical order, you can now tell. Creative, freedom, inspired, intuitive, love, magic, revolutionary, self-expression. Revolutionary self-expression. I like that. Soul, revolutionary self-expression from the soul. Spiritual, tribe, wild. Okay, so if I were going to do this on my page, I'd be writing these down. You know, I don't know if I want to do that right now. It takes too much time. But attraction, authenticity, or authentic, right? So you're writing them down, kind of the side here. Wait, there's more chats in here. Make sure that people. So here, you guys are fast. Jackie loves Iyanla. I love her too. Ugh, you don't even know how great it was working with her. So, thank you, Wendy, for clarifying Tomoto. Integrity, Wendy, integrity, authentic, sacred genius. Ooh, I like that one. Sisterhood. Soul, love, freedom, growth, transformation. Beauty, inspired. Yeah. Beauty was one that, like, one of my clients came up with. And hers was beauty and transformation. And she was a hairstylist and a makeup artist. And at first, when she said beauty, I was like, you know, I was thinking of beauty in the sense of traditional views of women's beauty. And how I don't fit those, or how I believe I don't, or whatever. Never felt like I did. And then I realized, oh, there's so much more to beauty, you know, beauty of the world, you know, beauty of nature, or beautiful artwork. And everyone is beautiful, you know. So sometimes somebody will come along and they'll say a word and you'll think, that's not my word. And then you'll be like, that is my word. So be writing down your tick words. And it's going to end up going kind of like probably filling this side. Sometimes we get too many. I've had where clients had multiple tick words, you know, that went on for pages and pages. And here's a little trick. Ooh, unfolding. I do like that word. Here's a little trick that I've used with clients to try to identify which are the most important tick words. Now, we're going to do something fun where, you know, just about this many words. How many do I have here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. But one thing that I've done with clients before is where we'll, I'll say, what's more important, attractive or authentic? And they'll say, authentic. What's more important, authentic or beauty? And they'll say, authentic. You know, you've got to feel into it. There's no right answer, right? Then, what's more authentic? What's more important, authentic or creative? Creative. What's more important, creative or freedom? Don't try to make me choose, right? Ugh, you have to have freedom to have creativity, I think. So freedom. And go down the line, right, to where you've actually at the end you'll pretty much have a word that, let's say you end up with a word like magic. Then you can go through the whole thing and say, is magic it? Is that still more important than these others to you? So that is one way to kind of narrow down these words. I actually got that. It's sort of from the, what are they called? The passion test. I am not remembering the woman's name that wrote the passion test, but that's kind of where I got that from. It's sort of like the passion test. Pretty simple. So then the next thing we want to do, here, Antoinette, joy and delight, nature, enthusiasm, sizzle. I like that one. Flow. I like flow too. Ignite the spark. The dawning. I really like that. Makes me want to sing. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. All right. So let's look at the offering words. What's that about? Well, offering words are either the exact offerings that you do, like I do branding and consulting, I do logo design, marketing, law of attraction, websites. These are like actual services I do, or you might be coaching or sort of guidance or intuitive guidance. Well, see, guidance, I would say. Intuitive is a tick word. What are your offerings? Also, results. And sometimes when you start talking about results, you start thinking, wow, my results are sort of like my tick words sometimes. As you notice, like clarity and self-expression. Did I put clarity in? No. But clarity is totally one of my things. So somehow that didn't get on my list. But I got it in a result, right? Client attraction, or let's say revolution is a result. What are your offerings? Maybe you could start writing into the Zoom chat. What are some of the things that you provide? Remember when Yanla said, I saw that word magical next to that word marketing. So marketing is the result. Magical is the tick word. Nobody's writing in there. They're offering words. Is this confusing to anyone? If so, you could tell me in the chat field. So here's what we're going to do with this. This is where you could close your eyes. You could have your list, blah, 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 all the way down. And your others, la, 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 all the way down, and just go like this. Like that. You didn't see what I was doing. Go like this. Close your eyes and go. Like that. Done that before, okay? Many times. Sometimes you just come up with stuff that you just wouldn't think of normally if you do it that way. But you start looking at, okay, so let's see, Jackie, center, what should centering? Or is it soul? Is that just a weird D on there? Personal peace, guidance, clarity, bliss, feelings found. Okay. what is the exact, Jackie, could you tell us the way that you deliver that? Is it coaching? Is it body work? You know, what exactly is it?
It is
Wendy
body
does
work.
coaching. Somebody's talking. Oops, sorry, dear, I have to mute you. What is, unless you want to talk. Jackie, do you want to talk? I'll unmute you. Yeah? Sure.
So I do body work, but I also do intuitive coaching. So my body work is also intuitive. So I find the stuck places, the energetic stuck places, and help them to shift that. Also do a program called Mental Mastery, where they learn to change the language that's going on in their brains.
Oh, mental mastery. Is that somebody else's program, or did you make that up?
Actually, the name is somebody else's program, yes.
Uh-huh. Right. So there's a little bit of body work in there. Now, I think intuitive is the tick word, even though it maybe nowadays intuitive consulting or coaching, or what did you call it? Intuitive. What did you say?
I said intuitive coaching.
Yeah. So that's probably kind of these days, maybe 10 years ago, that would be really weird. These days, that might be not differentiating you enough. But I would say intuitive is a tick word, you know. So intuitive coaching would be like a combination there. Okay, well, let's get in. You know, we'll definitely get. I'll come back to you. We want to figure out how to express this all of it together, really. You know, what is the bottom line? When I took magical marketing, now nobody knows what that is. It's not like they go, oh, magical marketing, now I know exactly what you do. It's more like I gotta find out what that is. Like what Iana said, I have to click to see. So that's what we want to come up with for you. I like soul centering. That attracts me. I don't know what it is, but something about that draws me in. What is that? It makes me want to know. And Jackie, have you had trouble in the past explaining yourself? You can just nod or say yes.
That is my huge problem.
Yeah. And you're not the only one. So hopefully we can get definitely a head start on that today. Antoinette does speaking, training, facilitation, coaching, products, books, assessments, kits. Good. Wendy does coaching, training, facilitation, book study groups. Huh. That's interesting. All right. So let's do this. So does everyone have some things written down, or is anyone having trouble coming up with theirs? If you're having trouble, say, Julia, I'm having trouble, and we'll go into it together. I want to make sure that you don't feel like you're way behind in what we're doing here. It's pretty simple, but doesn't mean it's easy. I'd love to see somebody who's willing to play where we're going to do this randomly. Oh, look, there goes Catherine. Okay, coaching, teaching Qigong, and meditation. You do have a lot of modalities, my dear. Jiatsu, energetic emotional rebalancing. Okay, breath, embodiment, peace, joy, reconnecting, well-being, ease, flow, centering, transformation, emotional release of stuckedness, self-realization. All right, cool. A lot of your results are, well, not a lot. You're right. These are results. I was going to say some of these seem like tick-ish, but no, I think they are results. One of the things I didn't manage to get into that suddenly occurs to me is one of the things that we need to know about our tribe is what they're really suffering with. You know? Like, Jackie is going to help people with their mind thing, because she realizes that, and her clients are going to have to realize, or they're kind of realizing this maybe coming into it, that the way that they're thinking is totally disrupting their lives, right? And things could be even going well for them, and their mind is taking them off into hell. The mind is a terrible place to be. Back in the 60s, it used to be a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Now it's just a terrible place to be, in my view, sometimes, right? I know how it is. In my mind, sometimes it's terrible. It tells me terrible, terrible, scary things. If that is your people, you've got to really empathize. Oh, my people, their mind is ruining their life, right? So then when we're talking to them about, or we're coming up with titles or we're coming up with messages, we got to kind of have that in the back of our mind. What is it that they're suffering with? And I'm providing a solution for. So, I mean, let me show you what I did here. So I just said, okay, attractive websites. Wild, attractive websites. Wildly attractive websites. That's what I call my websites. Wildly attractive. Wildly, because I love the word wild. I love the word wild for so many reasons. I love the wild, like wild herbs and wild animals and wild nature. I want to protect the wild, but I also like wild in terms of different and spunky or out of control, and nobody's going to, hold you back kind of thing. Attractive, refers back to law of attraction, really. When I was looking at naming my book, how did I come up with branding from the heart? Well, love was the word. That sounds like that's not the word, Julia. You didn't use love branding, did you? But branding from the heart, somehow it just came. And it means love, but it also means authentic. So authentic branding. And that's my how I generally refer to it. That's why I call this an authentic branding play shop. Magical marketing, right? Now, I can do all sorts of stuff with this, right? Like I said, revolutionary self-expression. From the soul, or soul expression marketing, or soul expression consulting. That would be pretty good, actually. I should write that down. I hadn't come up with that one before. Soul expression Consulting. How to express your soul. Or spiritual client attraction. I know it sounds simple, but I haven't really used that one. Spiritual client attraction. That means two things. It means client attraction practices that are spiritual. It also means how to attract spiritual clients. Antoinette is saying, one of my challenges relates to my offerings. As listed, don't really describe what I do and the results. As listed above, that's the more safer what. Oh, yay, the catalyst. Good. I'm glad we're catalyzing you. All right. So this is like one way to come up with titles. The more you can find words that really resonate with you on your tick word side, the more even your normal or boring results like marketing will sound interesting. Magical marketing sounds interesting. Marketing sounds boring. Websites is boring. Wildly attractive websites is not boring. So let me show you what this formula is for coming up with the message that, like I did with Murtis. It's sort of like this. I help Tribe with some kind of tick word offering to produce these results. You know, I help out-of-the-box entrepreneurs with magical marketing that attracts their soul tribe. I think that's what I put here. I help spiritually inspired entrepreneurs and change makers. Okay, so that's the tribe. Clarify and express their purpose. Now, I'm just going to hang up on that person. Most likely, 90% chance that, hey, that was an ad. No one ever calls me on this phone except for fake bots. Hopefully that's the case. So this is partly, you know, my unique thing, but clarify and express your purpose through marketing that attracts your tribe and inspires a revolution. I mean, I'm pretty sure that follows this little formula here. Did everyone get a chance to write the formula down? Because I think this helps. Really, if you can get your tick word in there, even into a normal, like this is what I, you know, this is kind of like a short, this is what I do. Your tick word's going to really help attract the people. You know, I really would like to work with somebody on this. Is somebody willing to be a volunteer? All right, let's do it. I'm trying to unmute you. Can you unmute yourself? Jackie, can you unmute yourself?
There I
There you
am.
go. All right, let's see if we can help you with this. So we got your tick words. Let's see. Let me go back.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
When you were talking about making our tick words smaller, having less and less on the tick words so that the ones that we have are more important.
Yep.
How many do we need to have?
Well,
3, 4, 5?
yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. So it's manageable, because sometimes people come up with like 60 words. It's just not manageable. You can always throw them in. I like the word mystic. It just didn't make it onto my list, and it didn't make it above magic, so it didn't get in there. But once in a while, I'll just throw that word in there in a letter to my people. So it's nice to have them, around, just so that you can kind of, they reveal something about you when you use them. I don't often use the word revolutionary. It's in the title of my book. But sometimes I'll just throw that in, I'll call it my revolutionary branding book. I guess I do use it a lot. Come to think of it. Transformation. I'm writing down your words on a piece of paper. Maybe that'll help. Beauty, inspired. So actually, wait, I'm going to stop sharing for a second, and I'm going to share my desktop instead. So you can, I think that'll make it so that you can see the chat. Can you see the chat on my screen or no?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. So inspired, light, life, and unfolding. And then the results are, we'll call it centering, right? Peace, guidance, clarity, bliss. I don't know what you mean by feeling found.
Would you like me to elaborate?
Yeah.
Being seen for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Different parts of them become uncovered that they were afraid to show.
So it is authenticity, huh?
True.
All right. What really makes you unique, Jackie?
The fact that I can perceive the energy of the issue that's causing them to be blocked or hang back.
Okay, and that doesn't take you very long, huh?
No.
Like almost instantly.
Pretty much.
Yeah, instantly, let's say.
Okay.
That's blocking them. And then you not only see it, say, ha ha, you have this block. See ya. You actually can help them, right?
We shift it.
To do something about it. So then you found all these different methodologies that allow you to clear that stuff, yeah?
Yes.
And do you have a favorite problem?
The presenting problem can be a physical issue, but it's almost always, when they see me, it's almost always something going on in their lives where they're going, wait, this wasn't supposed to happen. What do I do with it now? So it can be a loss. It can be a shock. They don't necessarily identify it as trauma, but it is a trauma.
Yeah. This wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
That's really key, just by the way. That's how they say it.
Mm-hmm.
And saying what their problem is in a way that helps them. Are you in a library?
I am. I just left the class and I had to, in order to get this, I had to be right here.
That's why you're talking so soft. I just saw somebody walk behind you. I'm like, she's in a library. Just having that kind of real understanding of how they'll say it's helpful. Okay, so this wasn't supposed to happen. That's their problem. It wasn't supposed to happen. He wasn't supposed to leave me. He wasn't supposed to have an affair with somebody else. I wasn't supposed to get fired from that job.
Right.
I wasn't supposed to, gain 50 pounds and not be able to move, or, I wasn't supposed to have some horrible disease that suddenly came up, even though some of the most healthy people I've known got cancer. I don't get it at all. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all, right?
Right.
Makes sense to you, though. See? So let's look at this. I mean, I love soul centering, and I don't know what it means. I don't have to know what it means. It means I'm centered to what my soul is wanting. Yeah? I like it. But we can look at this, and let me see if I can close my eyes and try some combinations here. Inspired clarity. Uncovering freedom. Well, life guidance. But it's more than just life guidance. It's inspired life guidance. Or unfolding your authentic life. In a way, I want to say, now, I don't know if I believe this yet, okay? But in a way, I want you to say, I help people go from this wasn't supposed to happen to bliss.
True.
Now, why don't I believe that? Bliss is hard for me to believe. I wanted to say, do they really feel blissed out after your sessions? Or is that real? What? Why don't I believe it? Am I just being cynical? It's not that I don't believe you can do it specifically. Maybe I don't believe in bliss. Isn't that terrible?
I think it's kind of like you won $100. Okay, I can believe that. You won $100 million. Wait, no, too much for the system.
That's too much, right? Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and it's kind of reminding me of Abraham, where, are you familiar with Abraham Hicks? Not everyone is. Law of attraction. Mm-hmm. Well, they say it's just as easy to attract a cup of coffee as it is to attract a castle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can try it sometime. But if you've got somebody who is in a state of hopelessness, attracting them with bliss is just too far away.
Yes.
But it's sort of like that's what I want to say. I want to say I take people from this wasn't supposed to happen, which I love. I think that's just so down to earth, to what? Freedom. Or clarity, maybe clarity. I help clarify the things that you're saying this wasn't supposed to happen and help you see why they happened and what you can do about it. I know that doesn't sound very poetic, but that's kind of the feeling. Is that the right feeling, Tom? I mean, is that the right message? I mean, is that the right, what am I trying to say? Is that true? You take them from this wasn't supposed to happen to they've got clarity, they've got bliss, essentially. They've got freedom. Freedom from the thing that was making it happen, yes?
Yes.
Not as easy as
Kind
I
of from
thought,
struggle,
huh?
struggle to freedom.
What?
Kind of from struggle to freedom.
Oh, from struggle to freedom, yeah. It could be something like if you're struggling with this wasn't supposed to happen, I can help you gain clarity and freedom
Yes.
by uncovering your authentic light, the thing you are hiding from the world. It may seem totally unrelated. How is my authentic life related to I got cancer? But I'll tell you, it probably is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. A friend of mine died a year ago from cancer. Well, actually, she died from chemotherapy. One treatment. She was eating healthy. She was exercising. She was thin. She looked great when I had last seen her. Apparently, she was riddled with cancer. And I look on that and I think, there's something repressed, right? Her authentic self she wasn't allowed to express it in her job. And she was always fighting. She was a teacher. She was always fighting with administrators. I mean, she basically couldn't teach in Chicago anymore. She had to move.
Wow.
Because she kept fighting with the school, like superintendents or whatever. And I don't think that fight ever ended, and I think it got internalized. That's where I would kind of go with you. I know I said something before. I didn't write it down. Sometimes when I'm channeling something, it just comes out, and then I didn't write it down. So hopefully, if not, then hopefully, I mean, we're supposedly recording. I hope. We're supposed to be. It said that we were. But as you know, it's my first time doing this. So something like I help you go from this wasn't supposed to happen to clarity and freedom by uncovering your authentic light. I think that's pretty good. Good place to start, yeah?
Yes. Thank you.
That's better than I do this and that and the other modality to help you uncover your blocks.
Yes.
Right?
It's yummy. Yes.
And then you could share stories. Like Mary, who had this blah blah, and we did this. That's going to help all of us. By the way, testimonials are the best or as you saw, I showed you some befores and afters. They're not exactly testimony. What are those called? Those are what are those called? examples. That's not the right word, but you know, there's a word. It'll come out like tomorrow. But it's the examples of how you've helped people. You know, stories. You know, the word isn't coming out, but fog on the brain a little bit. All right. Does that get you going, Jackie? Good. Okay. Does anyone else want to work with me? Are you shy? You can either raise your hand. I know you really do, Catherine, because you've been looking this whole time like, I really do want to. I don't know why I'm not raising my hand. Oh, okay, good. See, you're dealing with a psychic. You're not going to... What? Whoops. All right. So, I'm like, why isn't she raising her hand? All right.
I feel like part of the problem is that it's a little bit what you said before, is like do all these, I've been thinking a lot about how to connect all the things I do under one umbrella, which you mentioned is part of it. I don't know if this is the right moment to chime in or not. Because
all right, let me just since you bring it up, okay? Because it's not complex, and then we'll get into it, okay? How do you share all of the things that you do? Well, we kind of just did it with Jackie, right?
Mm-hmm.
We looked at, what's most important to her. So when you have a lot of different offerings, you want to create an umbrella brand that captures the essence of all of them. How? Your passion and your purpose are what unites everything you do. I know, it's like, what? You already said that. Why do you make a big deal about it? Because nobody gets this. It doesn't matter how much I say it. Unless I just say it, they don't get what I thought, oh, this is really obvious. But no, it wasn't obvious to anyone. This is it. Your passion and your purpose. So,
I guess my question is, like, when you talk about, in terms of the tribe, I really like bringing people who are just on the edge of awareness into their, you know, it's like I really get a kick out of that. I get a kick out of people who are really people who question and are open, like intelligent people who are, but they haven't necessarily encountered certain whatever tools or they haven't necessarily like been received in a way that they can connect with their bodies and their minds in a way that, you know, their own wisdom comes forth and they can be guided by that. So it's like, I like, you know, introducing people to, I mean, I do energy work, which is like working with the invisible, you know, but also I work with the body, which is very concrete. And I really love making these things concrete for people. It really makes me happy. So I can say I'm passionate about that, and I think that it probably is the thing that unites all the things that I do. Whether I'm teaching meditation, qigong. I come from a dance creative background, a dancer choreographer. Yeah, and I've been for 20 years. I was teaching yoga, and I've been teaching qigong, and I did Thai yoga massage, and I do shiatsu, and I do energetic work, like hands off, just chi emissions, because I work with, you know, qigong and teaching qigong, and for me it's all very simple, but it's when I have to explain it, just as you said, it sounds
it sounds terrible, right? What did you mean by not letting your integrity get in the way of attracting clients?
Well, because it's like I always want to do a homage to these methods that I've made my own, but I don't want to. I guess I don't want to cheapen what I find so beautiful about them. So I get kind of caught up in that.
I see. Perfectionism.
I suppose it's a form of perfectionism, or it's a form of like I think actually, to tell you the truth, it's about hiding. Like, I think I'm realizing that I have a lot of shyness, and there's a kind of like, I need to, that's actually what attracted me to into what you're saying really speaks to me a lot, because there's this sense of, I'm looking at it from a totally other, other way about this, the integrity of sort of identifying, you know, your unique, you know, like my grandmother she's 102, and she used to heal the people in her village, you know. And one of my abilities when I'm working with people is I can feel things, like, you know, I get images, or I get this thought, this question to ask them, and it tends to sometimes, I don't know why I need to ask it, but I know I need to ask it. It usually just
It's the right thing. Like, do you knit? I once asked one of my clients that, do you knit? She said,
yeah, exactly.
It was a really weird question.
Like, do you sing? Like, it's like, you know, and I could feel this, like, and they're like, oh my God, I stopped singing when I was, you know, and then there's this whole,
yeah, exactly.
Like, I guess it's what's trapped in the body, and then what you know, like, I find it just so fascinating and beautiful when people suddenly can uncover what's trapped, what stayed frozen. And I guess, you know, this is gonna sound really crazy. I'm very right-brainish, but anyways, I love nature. So for me, the whole aspect of Qigong and Chinese medicine is always influenced by this understanding of the way nature flows. And I think as human beings, we tend to freeze that kind of natural, you know, the storms that happen, the things that happen, we freeze them somewhere. So I'm very interested in the kind of being you know, help that move through, so that people are, yeah, in fact, like Jackie said, you know, freer and freed up to what their energy is, what their natural energy would be, you know, if it wasn't stuck there in that certain place. Good luck.
So, it's not weird, okay? I'm just thinking, okay? Because you've said a lot of things, okay? Here's some words I really like that you've said.
Okay.
I help people on the edge of awareness. I really like that.
Okay.
Right? So that's a nice way to say half unconscious. But look, I mean, you find it fascinating and beautiful when they come alive into awareness, right? When you want to be there when they have this, like, oh my gosh, a whole new world is open to me I never knew about. You want to be there when that happens, right? That's part of your thrill, yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
You said their own wisdom trapped in their body, right? Their own wisdom trapped in their body. So maybe it's, and I help, you can revise some of this a little bit, but sort of simply put, I help people on the edge of awareness to unleash. You didn't use the word unleash. Unleash their own wisdom that's trapped in their body. I want to say something about natural, and I want to say something about dance.
Yeah.
I help people on the edge of awareness unleash
Maybe their natural wisdom, or
their natural wisdom. I like that. Their natural wisdom or the natural wisdom trapped in their body through a dance of, and then I'm going to use a tick word.
I didn't send any of mine, but
What? Okay. Why don't you tell me what your chick words are?
oh my lord. Okay, I'll try. Intuitive, potential, natural unfolding, wisdom, joy, uncaused joy, which is sort of funny, brilliance, truth, connection, gentleness, transformation, ease, naturalness, peace, creative. I put wildlife.
Wildlife. I like that too.
Heart, authentic, spiritual. I put soma, which is body in Greek, and I find it really actually fascinating as a way to. Anyway,
What is soma?
soma means body in Greek, but it's a really nice way of going beyond the understanding that we have of body. It's more than the right brain. It's like it's really the whole neurologic, like the whole wisdom and intelligence we have in our heart and our guts, and the whole connection of all of us, all of our subconscious. So it's like I like that word soma.
I think you should use it in the title of your business. Soma.
Mm-hmm.
So what does the word mean again?
Soma?
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, when you look more into it, it means body.
It just means body, but so if you said, because I wanted to say soma awareness as a name, and that would be body awareness, yeah? Does that work?
Yeah, it does, but the problem is soma is very it's like an in term right now. So
oh darn,
like soma awareness almost like now means nothing, even though
it means nothing, like intuitive coaching.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, what a drag.
Yeah.
Now I think I'm into stuff, and I have a lot of people that I talk to, and no one has ever come up with soma with me. Just by the way, just saying, I don't know what scene I'm not in, but it's probably millennials or something. But
well, I describe it as I have a somatic approach, but I don't know if I should.
Okay, I've heard that.
Yeah, exactly. So I say I have a somatic approach.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. I hear what you're saying, except if you really like a word.
Yeah.
Wild soma. See? Soma may be like a way to express the result. Is it sort of like I'm aware of what's going on inside of me, and therefore I don't have like strange blocks? Is it? No?
You say that I'm aware of what's going on inside of me, so I don't have strange blocks. Is that what we said?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. Well, in a way, a lot of what I do is help people relax with themselves, so that as they kind of be in touch with their bodies, they can feel the layers of tension that they can relax and shed. And so, yeah, I mean, the blocks are those kind of like our ego. It shows up in our tensions, and we all have them, like
I do.
So it's like the way we don't even, most of them we're not even aware of, so it's almost like, it's like gaining the trust of people, that by relating with them in a way, that you can kind of help them kind of, oh, okay, I can go into that place and then let go of it, so.
Moto G for Butterfly has a very interesting name. Yes, she says she's the weirdest person. Soul soma.
Yeah, soma is used in therapy that is body-based. Yeah, there's lots of like soma therapy now, and soma, I don't know if I think there's somatic coaching for sure, and it's used. It's a
Soul
beautiful
Soma.
term.
I like Soul Soma. Sounds good. But anyways, you can play with that if you would. I mean, if you love the word, you can definitely play with that as a title. I think it would look good in a logo too. Soul Soma. I like. Um, um, I help people on the edge of awareness unleash the natural wisdom trapped in their body through I like people on the edge of awareness. It's a lot of words. What do you think is their problem as they see it?
Well, the main problem I encounter, I mean, through all kinds of various forms, is how, to what degree we're all kind of stuck in our heads. Like, so, I mean, I would say that it's like being able to help people reconnect. I mean, and it's beyond just like reconnecting head, body, and mind, or head and body, and but it's also like just a general isolation too. I mean, I guess isolation is a huge, would be something in a way, like a kind of disconnect, you know?
Mm.
Like a disconnect in ourselves, and a disconnect with feeling any kind of understanding of our connectedness to others, or the like the natural environment, which has repercussions, like obviously, as we know and see and witness. So somehow anyway, I'm such a, it's so complicated, I think.
It's not too complicated. So I help, I
Good.
say hush off to all that. I help disconnected souls. I like that as a tribe. Disconnected souls on the edge of awareness. To unleash or release the natural wisdom trapped in their body. I mean, that might be enough.
Mm-hmm.
Disconnected souls on the edge. By the way, isolation is probably a big problem among your clients, all of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a character trait. Something that can happen to us, we need to get out of isolation if we notice that we're in isolation. It gets us unbalanced. Many of us have experienced ups and downs in financial life. It's like a money code thing, actually. But just to say, it's very likely a very serious problem with a lot of people.
Yeah.
That are in your tribe. Not everyone is isolated, but they're sort of introverts, isolated, or creative, unusual, and then it becomes hard to be in the world sometimes, and then we go away from the world, or we find a way to just to be in our own space where we can be creative, or we can do our own thing, and then we're no longer connecting with other people. Or, what you said, connecting to other things too, our own body or our natural awareness.
Well, I think when we connect to our breath, it really is a simple way to reconnect actually to what's around us. And to, it's funny, but it's I mean, everybody says breathe, but it's really true. If you breathe, you usually, when you're really in stressed and anxiety or isolation, there's a kind of stopping of the breath. So anyway, I have to I'll figure all this out. Thank you so much.
Well, so far we got to I help disconnected souls on the edge of awareness to release the natural wisdom trapped in their body. There's a variety of ways that you do that. You don't actually have to go into every single way,
Yeah.
you know, but just you could then go into results if you like, you know. What's one of the best results you remember producing with a client? Like, that's so memorable because it was so great. Like Michelle's 600% increase of DVD sales.
Okay, that's not my case.
I know, but no, I'm a marketer, so.
Oh, I think I'm kind of I like the small things. I like the big, the small things seem kind of big to me. Like, just, I don't know, if a student says to me, this really works. Like I managed to not, when I'm with my kids, I can, all of a sudden I'm calmer. I've alternatives. I don't not in my automatic behavior. Like I have some agency, and that makes me really happy to hear that. I think I really like, and this is probably not very money making of me, because I really like creating independence. I like people feeling really like they bring these things, these tools in their lives, and they make them their own, and in terms of like private stuff, like in a way that they don't need me eventually, like that they, so that makes me happy when they feel that they've shifted into a whole other kind of way of, a whole other paradigm sometimes. If it's private, or if it depends if it's in what setting, but yeah, I guess that the results, sometimes you see people make big, I guess I've seen people big changes in their life where they, their life starts resembling more of who they are, and they're more at ease. They're not in a state of arrested development. They're kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, I think getting those types of examples to help people have clarity of how this could work in a person's life, or what kind of results they could actually produce. Like I didn't, immediately start shouting at my kid is a really important result, right? And having those kinds of testimonials are going to help. Yeah, disconnected souls on the edge of awareness. I would try it out.
Okay, cool. Thanks so much.
All right, my pleasure. Anyone else feeling like working on this together? You can text me or something in here. What about Antoinette? Are you here still? Do you want to work together on this?
I'm here.
Hi.
Hi, and I so appreciate the opportunity. My first thought when you just asked is that I don't think I'm ready yet. I'm feeling a little raw and unprepared, so that might mean that I am really ready for it then.
That might mean. We've got an echo on your line. Maybe it's because.
And I don't know what to do about it. I'm through the computer.
Do you have a?
No, I don't have headphones on.
I mean, do you have them? Because what's happening is.
Oh, do I have them?
Yeah, when I talk, it's creating an echo.
Okay, just give me a moment.
Right.
I'll put this on mute until I get it.
All right, and I'm gonna find Antoinette's thing. Okay, I'm gonna start writing down her words. Let's see, we've got joy, delight, nature, enthusiasm, sizzle, flow, ignite, spark. Thank you, Suzanne. Suzanne has to go. Yeah. I do want to let you guys know there is an offer if you would like to connect with me. Let me put this in the chat.
Okay, I've got the headphones in.
Oh, great. That's much better. If anyone would like to connect with me to have me look at your marketing, private branding review and connection session. I've put about 6 spots in my calendar for this for folks from this giveaway. So if that interests you, we can look at your marketing together and say, like, what really needs to be revised, or what's working, what's not working, and steps that you can take to make it much more attractive to your soul tribe. So if you don't have a website, we'll just talk about your marketing or your brand or what you're creating if you're just starting, and look at what are your best next steps so that you know what to do. That's if you need help there. Struggling with your brand message, don't know what to say, feel like your website doesn't reflect your essence, hiding your website. Please don't look at my website, you say. Then we can look at what would it take.
That's my case.
It's boring, or it's like, wow, it totally doesn't represent me well. All right, so Antoinette, I wrote down joy, delight, nature, enthusiasm, sizzle, flow, ignite, spark. Anything else on the chick word side? Or does that sound like it?
Creative.
Creative.
Freedom, clarity, way shower, authentic, mystic, shaman, coach.
Wait. Okay, so some of this is what you are: mystic, shaman, coach.
And then the other two that are.
What? Wait, you cut out. Uh-oh. Suddenly we can't hear you, Antoinette.
I'm having difficulty hearing you. You keep breaking up too. The other things that I wrote down were authentic, creative expression, and transformational.
So if I just said to you now, what do you do? How would you say it?
I fumble a lot because it's been a challenge to really speak up about what I do. So sometimes I do the practical speaker, coach, trainer. Sometimes I'll say I help people find their answers. Other times it's I help them ignite the spark. And it could be, depending on what they're looking at, ignite their spark of enthusiasm, their spark of joy, their spark of, it just varies.
So what do you really do then? I mean, what's the part you weren't saying?
What I do is help people to connect with their authentic essence.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think is their problem?
I think it's that they're afraid, or they don't realize it's possible. They don't feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
I think that sometimes people get too caught up in the out there, what the expectations, and don't trust themselves.
Mm-hmm. So part of it is they're not trusting themselves, yeah?
Yes.
And what do you think? I mean, that's a problem as you see it. They're not going around going, "Ugh, I don't trust myself. That's the source of all my problems," right? What are they saying, you think?
I feel stuck. I'm settling. This is all there is for now. Or, there's that, it's like, well, it's like that everywhere. It's how it is for everybody. Or
Now, have you had success at taking people from, oh, by the way, the session is free that people are applying for, just by the way. Okay. Bye, Nanda. Thanks, Catherine. I guess she already left. Have you had success taking people from this is all there is to realizing there's more?
yes, I have had some.
Because sometimes that's a transformation that you're kind of they need to have before they work with you, yeah? You think?
Not always.
Like, if they think this is all there is, and that's their belief, and that
Oh, okay. Okay, I understand what you're saying
there's
now.
nothing to do about it.
I think there's, some of the people, and I think some of the people, they've settled, but they may have this inner knowing or this inner desire for something better.
An inner desire. So it's sort of like, is this all there is? Right?
Yes.
And what is it that you do that's really just different from everyone else, Antoinette?
One of the things, like, and I think part of what's going on for me is because I have so many different things that I do. Mm-hmm. Like it might be helpful if I just focus on, let's say if I'm working one-on-one with someone, and I can even do this with groups and organizations as well, but I have, one of my gifts is asking the questions that they haven't asked themselves or they've never thought of, that takes them to like their core, the questions that open up a door for them or a window of possibility. And I do have an intuitive ability, so I think that's why I can ask the questions.
Mm-hmm.
And I also help people feel safe and comfortable because I meet them where they're at.
Mm-hmm. What would you say, how would you identify your tribe?
That's something else that I'm working on. I think that what I would like and hope are people who are willing to step up, even if it's uncomfortable, who are desiring to make a change.
Do you think they're mystics in disguise? Or do you like normal people?
Probably. I've worked with people across the spectrum, but perhaps like many of us, it's always fun to dance with people who, there's that particular resonance with.
Yes, Jackie, you can use the other form. I don't know what, the URL didn't work. Sorry. Let me look at that. Oh, it should have worked. But the other one's fine. So sorry about that. So I'm thinking, Antoinette, I'm thinking they're mystics. In disguise. Or not trusting themselves, okay? So you imagine this mystic. They haven't been trusting themselves. They've been allowing society to keep them into more of a normal, framework.
Yes.
And you help that ask questions that open a door to a new reality for them in a safe and supportive environment. So that their true mystic can come out. And I have a feeling hold on, I'm writing this down. I have a feeling that they know this. That they know that they are a natural mystic, which is a great song. Do you know that song? Check it out.
No, I don't.
Natural Mystic, Bob Marley. But I have a feeling that they're a natural mystic who knows that they are, and they're kind of stuck in a normal world, and they need a safe and supportive environment for their true mystic to come out. And that would be an amazing service at this time in the world. What were you going to say, dear?
I have tears coming as you say that.
There you go. Yay. That's it then. So their true mystic can come out, my dear. There, I'm giving you a hug.
Thank you.
What
So-
is that? So what?
My talent.
What?
Okay, go ahead.
What were you saying?
I was going to. Well, it's kind of like, okay, great. It's been hard enough to talk about what I do, and it's like, now what?
Now what you'll notice is if you go out and you say this, those right people are going to come to you.
May I share one thing?
Yep.
The Mystic Shaman Coach. How I came to that was I had been doing work with various clients, and it was just phenomenal work. And it was spontaneous, organic, and completely intuitive in the moment. And after one particularly powerful session, when I got into my car, I just said, what is it that I do? And, I said, Spirit, what do I do? People ask me what I do. What do I do? And very loud and clear, crystal clear, was, you are a mystic shaman coach.
And you know what that means?
And
it means that not only are you a mystic shaman coach, but you're a coach for mystic shamans.
Okay.
So,
because I've always been hesitant to own it and step into that.
Totally. That's why you haven't attracted the right people always. Once in a while you do. They kind of come through. Anyway.
Yeah.
But you'll notice that they all are that once you really clarify this. And you can come up with a signature program. By the way, that really addresses it blatantly. But I do like this idea of questions that open the door. And you didn't say to a new reality, but I like that. I ask questions that open a door to a new reality in a safe and supportive environment so your true mystic can come out. And then that's what you're really about. I believe, and now I'm going to be significant on you, that our mystics, our psychics, our mystics, our shamans, our intuitive creatives, we need to come out of the closet now. Our way of doing things is going to change the world. It is a new paradigm. First of all, we understand that we're all one. We're not going around killing people.
Yeah.
We don't even like criticizing people. Even if we don't agree with them, we don't go around hating. It's a completely different approach. It's like, if you're that intuitive, you know that they're just you. Or they're the darker side of you, maybe. But it's just, even that guy in the White House,
Mm-hmm.
is part of the human race. And whatever he's doing or saying is not so far off from our dark side at our worst, baby. when I'm yelling at my husband, But I believe we can change the world. And I'm just being significant because I believe there's millions of these people around the world. I don't think that it's, you only need maybe, maximum. I mean, how many clients do you need? 50?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so your 50 people, they need an environment of safety. Somebody who gets them and is intuitive and has some great techniques, but also can just hear them talk and hear what's wanting to come out and help them to become the natural, the true mystic or the natural mystic that they really are, and to help them be their authentic mystical self in the world. And that's what we need. So how do we identify them? I don't know, maybe we call them closeted mystics. Jackie likes it. Why not? Let's help the closeted mystics. If you're not going to use it, I'm going to use it because I'm almost crying now.
Yeah, I have known for a very long time that I am a way shower, and that this all seems to be fitting together now. You know, as far as, you know, creating the environment and showing the way for myself, and then showing the way for others. To be where they can be seen and heard and understood, and honor
To be seen,
what they've
heard,
been so
understood,
afraid.
honored. Yes. Seen, heard. Look, you're hearing it here, right? Understood and honored. I help closeted mystics to be seen, heard, understood, and honored. I ask questions that open a door to your new reality where your true mystic can come out, or your true mystic can shine, something like that. Can sizzle, ignite.
I hope you're recording this because I'm having difficulty writing it all down.
I know. I hope I'm recording it too, to be honest. It said at the beginning, it had this thing, recording, and now I don't see it, and I'm like, what? It better be. I didn't click anything. It was like it was already doing it, so I just hope. No, it says pause recording, so it must be recording. Are you recording? Yes.
Yeah. Well, don't throw your notes away, and I'll send you an email asking for it.
Yeah, I wrote it down. See, here we go. There.
Yes.
But I like the, the general feel is that, and the thing that really got you was this, that it's the true mystic can come out.
Yeah.
In the world, because somebody else said, who was it? My coach told me not to be too woo.
Yeah.
I just want to say something like, fuck that coach is what I want to say, It was Jackie's coach.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I say to your coach. Every one of my clients has been told they're too woo at some point or another. I say, wave your woo flag high. Because, first of all, the people, let's just say, the people in power, they know this stuff. I mean, they may not use it the same way, or they may not even think of it in the same way, but they have confidence levels that, so they don't want us to have that power. Okay, well, so they're going to try to tell us not to. Maybe your coach was wanting to be, helpful. Oh, it'll turn people off. It'll turn off people who are into woo. That is not your. When I was worried about those lawyers,
Well,
right? It's like they're not the right people.
I think also it's for so long, me personally feeling that I didn't belong, and then finding someone that shared a similar interest or passion, or was a kindred spirit, and it's like, oh, I'm not alone. I do have a place I belong. I do have people that will understand, and that it's okay, even though I'm different. It's okay for me to be different. It's okay for me to show up how I really am, at least in one place. At least there is one place I can go.
Hmm. Oh, Moto's saying maybe mystique, but I don't know about mystique. I like that word too, but I think mystic is more of like a more common identifier. Are you saying mystique is feminine? I'm not sure. The shy mystic. You know, I don't think that that's bad, but I don't know that it's really shy. Not shy. Jackie doesn't think it's shy. It's more repressed, I think. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Because, you know, people, you know, would come out, we're 5 years old, and we're like, why are there angels flying around mommy or whatever? And they go, what? That's crazy. You're hallucinating. Oh my God. They're like hiding the child behind. She didn't say anything at my party, you know. That would be something, you know, typical kind of thing. Or
Yeah.
I remember when I was back in my revolutionary activism days, and I had a friend who came over and looked at my bookshelf, and she literally said this: you can't have those books and those books on the same shelf. And it was astrology books and books like Karl Marx and Hegel and philosophy of revolution and freedom and stuff, history. And I said, yeah, why? What do you mean? I wanted to hide it. You know, I wanted to just like, oh, don't look over there at my astrology books. But because she was a Marxist, she was like, her view was Marx was about freedom. Astrology is about determinism. So some people might say Marx was about determinism. We could get into that. But other people have the opposite view. Astrology is about freedom, right? Revolution is too scary, like that. But the thing was, what the result of that was, I completely stopped sharing about the mystical stuff for 10 years or more. And then I started my business, and I was like, yeah, you know, it was called Graphic Girls, Abolish Boring Websites was my slogan. And I, you know, even as I had a huge breakthrough where I started getting way into, you know, metaphysical arts, I like to call them. And it was really a return because I was into all this stuff at first memory, you know, like 2. It wasn't new, but it was scary to share. So, you know, I really feel like there's a lot of people that are in this category.
Mm-hmm.
And so the more that you can just come out, Antoinette, and just say it, I think you're going to do better. And come up with things that mystics, you know, love to do as part of the process that they need to do. You know, it's very similar to branding from the heart, where, you know, you're going into what's important to you. You know, it's my own little process, but man, these psychics love it, right? Like, forget about what other people are saying.
Yeah.
and go inside to what your intuition tells you, that's the exact right process. My people, I have lots of clients that take my program, which frankly, you know, it's long. It takes like 9 or 10 hours to go through the program. And that's just on their part. That's not our talking part. I never get complaints about it. I'm still shocked that I never get complaints. But I ask, how is it going? And I never get complaints. Like, ugh, what did you come up with here? I don't like this process. Sometimes, once in a while, it's hard for people. But generally, it's totally in alignment with them. Because why? Because it was designed for them. It was designed for me. And so you are, yeah, you are them, my dear. So does that help you get started?
Oh my gosh, thank you. Well, if nothing else, I feel a relaxing into a core truth. You know, like a heart, soul. Yes, this is true for me now.
Well, it is 1:30. Do you believe this? If I guessed, I would have thought it was.
Thank you. I so appreciate it. Thank you. I feel so blessed.
So I am going to, thank you, Antoinette. I am going to end this little play shop today. Please note that I'm really looking forward to connecting with some of you privately. I never showed you this, but Anne, she got over 100 new opt-ins and 7 new clients all in 1 month from launching her new brand and website. You will have attractive results when you're more authentic in your brand. So I look forward to connecting with some of you. Thanks so much for being with me and being patient with my weird technological confusion. And I look forward to talking to you all privately, those of you who want to. Otherwise, I hope you stick around with me. I generally do kind of various different things like this every month. And I'm probably going to do them more like Zooms where we actually work on things together. So be my pleasure to see you again and help you on this journey. Of course, I would love it if you feel so frustrated with your marketing and need help implementing new marketing. I'm really into implementing, not just ideas. So go forth and attract your soul tribe. Thank you for being with me today. There's your wand action. Wait, we need a pink one too, I think. And we'll see you next time. All right? Bye-bye. Okay, let's see if I know how to stop share. End meeting.